Hi, welcome back to another one chart lesson. Today we're doing a fast and easy acoustic version of the famous song by Blondie, One Way or Another. Everyone knows it. The original way to play it, of course, is using no capo and bar chords or power chords really, which is just the first 2 or 3 notes out of a bar chord, and it's in the key of D. So the original way, you'd be strumming the D and then you'd be going down 3 semitones in a row to land on the B. Now, to do it in an acoustic way, it's much easier if we have a capo on our 2nd fret. So our D looks like a C chord now, and that root note can just be walked down that A string. Really, really easy. It's fast. I shouldn't say really easy, but it's fast. And so what takes time is to get this clean and to get the rhythm kind of rocking along. So let's go, download your chart. I've provided charts for acoustic version with a capo, also the original version using power chords and no capo, and I'm also including the solo here, both with the capo on the tab and without the capo, which basically means that all the numbers are raised by 2 frets when you don't have a capo on. We start with a C, and you're going C, 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 and then C, B, B flat, A, then you land on the A major chord. That last A note, which is the last 16th note of the bar, da, 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 that one there, they don't technically play that in the original when they're doing bar chords, but when you do it with open chords, it kind of sounds good because you can go. Now the rhythm is going to be like this, and this is really the best way to do this rhythm. You can just do all the downstroke like, but it doesn't allow for that natural flow of your strumming hand. What you want to be able to do is go down, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, 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 up, up, down. And it's all predicated on having that hand movement going 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ba, bum, 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 bum. So if you kind of count it out and sound it out like that, you can hear and feel when the strums should land. Da, 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 da. And that little rundown, if you can do that down, up as well, you'll get it faster and you'll get it flowing more smoothly. Yes, of course, you can do everything as downstrokes, but this is a more flowing, natural way, and it will actually let you play faster in the long run. So again, C, and what we're doing here, you see my little pinky flopping on and off the strings here. What I'm doing is using that as a muting technique. So as soon as I hit that 2nd strum, I release the pressure on these fretting fingers, and I also at the same time let that pinky rest just very lightly over the strings so it mutes them. And you get the cutting, short, staccato sound of that chord. Like that. And yes, you can also use your right hand if that's too tricky. Use your right hand to muffle those chords. But definitely get used to releasing the pressure without lifting your fingers off the chord, just releasing the pressure. And the only things that'll ring on then are the open strings. And that way you can dampen those open strings with your right hand or your strumming hand or your fretting pinky finger. So I'll do it really slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. verse and the intro. Then when it comes to change, we can just strum chords. Now, in the original version, they spell out octaves on these chords. Now, in the original version, the chords are G. The original version, the chords are G, B, and then A. So we're going C sharp, B, A, F sharp, all octaves. Now, to do octaves, it's really just a root note and then 2 strings across and 2 frets up. And you just play those 2 together. Hardest part about an octave is muting all the other strings, or if you like, you can just pick the only 2 strings that you want to hear with your strumming hand. That's the original version. On the capo version, on the acoustic version, it sounds better to strum these chords. So we're going F, A minor, G, E minor. Again. D minor, but that little run is F, G, or not technically because it's the capo, but 1, 3, open A, land on the D minor chord. I'll see you around. E, hold that E for a bar, and then you're back into the next verse. And so on. So we get to the next section. This time we're going to hang on the E for an extra bar, and then we go into the solo. Now I'm going to stop here and actually just go through the chords for the solo because they change, and then at the end of this lesson I'm going to add how to play the solo, okay, on the acoustic. So the chords underneath the solo go like this. It's E minor for a bar, G, then B power chord, do it again. Then A minor, then D, then E minor, then G, back into the chorus. Do that twice. Then we move into what the last little bit is, the coda really, and it's just this weird bit that goes that's tabbed out on your chart as well. That's just the way the song ends, and it kind of repeats that section off into the fade out. That's the song. Now the solo. So the solo starts here. We're kind of based around the 9th fret here for this solo. Now we are, and that's whether or not you've got the capo on, it doesn't matter. Just the numbers of this tab will actually read this first note that you hammer to from the 9th fret to the 10th fret. That's your first note. Now, on a tab that doesn't have the capo, that's going to read to be a 10. On a tab that does have the capo, that's going to be an 8 because it's 8 frets up from the tab, from the capo, okay? So I'm going to talk about this in terms of the actual frets here, but they're the exact same frets visually, but the numbers are real numbers because we don't have that capo there adding 2 automatically. I'm pretty sure you guys understand I'm talking too much about this, so I'm just going to go ahead and play the solo. So we start hammering onto the 10th fret on the B string, and it's a fast hammer on, it's like a little grace note. And you do that 3 times. 3rd time you come down to the 11 on the D string. Then you do a very fast hammer on from 9 to 11 on the D and over to the 9 on the G string. So it sounds like this. That's fast, so it takes a little bit to make sure you get that clean. Then it does it again. After the second time through, we put our third finger on 11 on the G string and our second finger on 10 on the B string. Leave your first finger where it is on the 9th fret across those two strings, because we're going to go play both of those strings together 3 times, lift them both off and come back down to the 9. Down to 11 on the D, and then when you play 9 on the D, you can include the 9 on the G string, so it sounds like this. And then you do that again, and we do the start again, 1, 2, 3, back to 9s, down to 11 on the D, and then the hammer back on to 11 and 10 on the G and B. And that last little bit gets you into the last stage of this solo. Now it's going over an A chord in the original key, right? It's going over the G chord in our capo. So either way, that's where we want to be, on the 5th fret. And you're just sliding up from the fret below with one finger covering the B and the E strings. And you do a slide every third note. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Last beat, you do 4. And then up, do the same thing on the 7th fret. But on the last 4/16 notes of this bar, you go up 1 fret at a time and land on the 10th fret. Now you can do that with different fingers, and that's where you finish, or you can slide 1 finger up to get to the 10th fret. It doesn't matter. Right, so all the way through, we'll do it again. And that last note is your finishing note for the solo, but it's also the first note of the next chorus. That is all there is to the song. It's a fun song to play. Get loose, get into it, have some fun with it. It's Blondie, so it's not meant to be, super precise and perfect. It's meant to have some attitude. Thanks for watching. We'll see you here again next time. Don't forget, if you want to play this song without the capo in the original way, download that chart and get into your power chords and get sliding. We'll see you here next time.